Prisoners in prison doing podcastings, right? So that's like 3 P's, right? Prisoners in prison podcasting. You heard it right. So now we have prisoners that are in prison that are actually podcasting about their experiences inside of prison. So if you were thinking to yourself that you have no content, you don't know what you're going to talk about, you need help with starting your podcast, now is the time to jump on this class that I have coming up at the end of the month, June 25th. I will be going through everything. If you have a Mac or if you have a iPhone, then you definitely want to be on this workshop, because guess what? The market is getting thick. It's getting crazy out here. It's about to be crazy content flying around, and you definitely want to be in on it. You want to be in to capture and get in on all of the good stuff that's about to come, right? Because podcasting is the new wave. It is definitely the new wave, and you want to be inside. You want to be on the inside of it. You want to have your content ready, set, already out there, ready to go and ready to monetize. Let's just keep it real, right? Let's just be real, because ain't none of us doing this just for the sake of doing it, right? So I wanted to tell you, what else did I want to tell you all? Oh, about podcasting. So if you haven't read the stats, go ahead and just Google podcasting. You'll see a gazillion different blogs and vlogs that are coming up talking about podcasting in the future of marketing. Right now, marketing and PR for podcasts are going to be hot. If you haven't already, by the way, we have the digital mix that'll be coming very, very soon in July. If you haven't joined that list, please go ahead and DM me if you want to join the list. If you have a podcast, if you have a YouTube channel, if you are creating content, if you have a show of any sort of any way, shape, or form, then you definitely want to get started. So a couple of inspirational tips, hopefully, for you. If prisoners can podcast inside of prison about their experiences, then I know for sure that you have an experience that you can market, right? With shows like, which I never watch, Orange is the New Black. Don't watch it. I watch very little TV. As a digital marketer, as a digital media producer, I just don't have the time to devolve into television shows. Now, what I do watch, every now and again, I watch a Blackish. That's about it. That's all you can charge me with, because Blackish is my show. It's just real. And there's also Blackish has the best marketing perspective as far as the show goes, as well as inside of the show. The content of the show actually shows you a lot about the insides of marketing, and you can actually take a lot of the tips that they do with their content and turn them into yours, because you want to make sure that every piece of content that you put out there is relatable to your audience and that it deals with something that's happening in real time. And Blackish does a wonderful job of doing that. So that's one show. But with, like I said, I digress. Back to what I was talking about. But prisoners, right? So we have Orange is the New Black. Remember that old school show Oz, right? This whole prisoners market is definitely something that's going to expand, and podcasts are going to be everywhere. I can see podcasts inside of classrooms. I can see people podcasting on business trip. I can see people podcasting when they're doing their workshops and things to that effect. There is all sorts of ways that you can really use digital media to create content, but not create more work for yourself. Because the ultimate goal is for you to create content to get out there in front of your end users, right? The people that you want to sell to, whether it be B2B or B2C, whoever you want to sell to, and come to them in the way, in the shape, and the form that they want to listen to you or just consume your content, right? If you know that you're marketing to specific individuals, and I'm sorry, that ice cream truck is major, super duper loud. But if you know that you are marketing to individuals who consume video content, if you yourself are not the greatest writer, then do video. If you know that you're marketing to individuals who are very, very busy, podcasts are your way to go, because a podcast can travel with you. We call it car university, right? Or is it mobile university? That's what it is, mobile university, where you can listen to a podcast and you can continue to do whatever it is that you do. So while you're driving, while you're working, you can listen to a podcast. It's the same way that we listen to music, but you can educate and motivate and inspire and pour into individuals that you never get to see, that you probably don't even know exist, but they know you. They know who you are. So I hope that this was useful to you. If you are not creating some form of content, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a video series, whether it be blogs, or just writing, ebooks, all of those different forms, right? If you are not and then on top of that, let's keep it real. If you are monetizing that, then let's go ahead and let's talk about some different ways that you can. If you have an iPhone, you can monetize. If you have a Mac, you can monetize. Really, if you have a PC. But I specialize in Mac and in iPhones and iOS, just because that's what I have and that's what I use. And there are a lot of different tools that you may be thinking, let me just go ahead and get rid of this as well. Because we're talking about prisoners here. Do you think prisoners got money? Who do you think is making money off their content? Do you think they're paying those prisoners to do podcasting? Right? Really, let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real, right? So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the fact that we are free, right? We're to a certain extent, but that's a whole nother Facebook Live. But think about the ways that your content is being used right now. Think about the ways these prisoners' content is being used and they aren't being properly compensated for it. Somebody is making money off of their content and they're probably just willy-nilly giving it out because they're like, yeah, of course I'll do this. What else do I have to lose? I'm locked in here, so what else am I gonna do? But this is another way that our culture is being used and we don't make anything off the back end of it. This is another way that they use our culture. They use the things that we do, the way that we talk, the way that we sing, the way that we present ourselves, the way that we carry ourselves, our strengths, how strong we are, how resilient we are, the way that they use every single thing in our being, in our culture, to then capitalize on it, turn it into a business themselves, but then don't give nothing back to the culture. So I digress because I can get real black on this thing real quick. So anyway, what I mean to say is, and what I'm saying to you is that you want to make sure that every piece of content that you put out there, you are monetizing and that you are directly benefiting from. If you are directly benefiting from it, then someone on the other end of it is benefiting. However, you are receiving, and see God shining down on me. He's shining this light on me. That you are just pouring out what you have, right? Because when you pour into another individual, just like right now, God speaks through people. God speaks through people. He speaks through the individuals that you come in contact with. He speaks through the people that you talk to on the phone, the individuals that you may friend on Facebook, some of the posts that are there. God speaks through human beings. However, you have to be able to decipher when it's actually God and when it's just that individual. You have to understand that that message is directly meant towards you. And if you've asked God for a sign of whether you should move forward with your business or whether you should start creating content or doing a podcast or doing a Facebook Live or doing a Facebook Live series, because there is a way that you can utilize your Facebook Live and make them into a series and then turn around and reproduce them and make them into content and videos. So there is a way that you can do that. Or a YouTube channel as well. So if you've had God speaking to you and you said, hey, give me a sign that I should do this, this is your sign. This is your message. This is directly for you. So you definitely